You're watching Country Chat with Dom here on YouTube, social media, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you get your shows from. You can also be listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get it from. I'm joined today with the amazing Reegan from Wannabe Cowboy.
Hello,
Hey,
mate.
mate.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to actually meet you as well. I mean, I've heard bits about you throughout the past year or so, and you've just started a collaboration with Live in the Living Room, the amazing James Vince there as well. So, welcome to the team.
Thank you very much. It was a shock to me, I'll be honest. When he offered it to me, I was like a bit over the moon.
Yeah,
But, a long and healthy partnership, I believe, with a lot of good content coming the way. So here's
oh,
to
that's good. I mean, it's exciting to see because I've obviously checking through your socials and stuff like that. Whenever, I mean, I've always been a advocate for other shows, throughout the UK, especially particularly those ones that want to talk to grassroots artists as well. Because you've done two interviews so far on your TikTok that I've seen with Alan Finlan and the amazing Mr. Paul Adams, who is also part of the Live in the Living Room family and the U Country podcast. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, it's great to watch those interviews and see your style of interview. That kind of like, I love how you've clipped each one to start with, so there's little snippets for each, and then you release the full reel as well afterwards. It's nice to see that kind of like difference. Now, I want to go into the start where you with Live in the Living Room, and what was it like then? You mentioned that you was a bit gobsmacked and stuff when James asked you. So how did that come about then? So how did he come to you about it?
so this whole social media thing that I started, my wannabe cowboy persona, it only actually arose really probably start of April this year.
Yeah,
I first met James and Paul Country to Country this year. My first one, as you've mentioned, Mr. Alan Finland, he knew them already, and he introduced me. And we just got chatting the whole weekend, basically, seeing them there and stuff like that. And I was always very, not anxious, but apprehensive more about starting social media because I'm thinking, oh, no one's going to be interested. I'm not going to be sure what to do. But then I spoke to a few people and they were just like, just go for it. Just make it your own. Doesn't matter what people think of it. It's yours. And I thought, hey, let's do it. Why not?
yeah,
And roll on a month later, Paul agrees to do an interview with me. As you may have seen in the clips, we're chatting, we're talking about Live in the Living Room. And after the podcast, he goes, oh, I was speaking to James, and he said he was actually looking at taking someone on when you're not available. We can't be everywhere at once. So he's probably going to take on an extra pair of hands. So I'll throw your name to him. And I was like, oh, yeah, mate, you don't have to, but I appreciate that. He's like, no worries at all. And then I think it was about 12 hours later, James follows me on Instagram, messages me. He already followed me because we followed each other, but he messaged me going, Paul's told me you'd be interested in, joining the family. So when can we have a call? I was
yeah.
like, oh, blah, blah, call me whenever, let me know. So we had a WhatsApp video call. It's supposed to be only for 20 minutes. We were chatting for an hour.
Easily done with James.
Completely on, we were just talking about stuff. And at the end of it, it went, yeah, like, I've already got like a really good vibe. It seems like you really know what you want to do. You're really easy to talk to. So I want to help you grow and invite you to be part of the family. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. For someone with such a small following like myself to be accepted to do this and see, like, I've seen what you guys have done, or saw all the C2C interviews, and before that, because Alan's always mentioned and stuff like that. But now to be actually involved, it was a bit of a reality check. Like, wow, okay, maybe this is going somewhere. So who knows?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, the amount of work that goes into the Live in the Living Room stuff, particularly when I first kind of joined, it must have been like 4 or 5 years ago now. But yeah, there's so much that gets involved, and like James mentioned, the fact that I'm not always available, and I do a lot of the interviews, and I do the Live in the Living Room goes back again, the hosting for the actual festival, but I'm based up in the north. I'm up in York, and the aim for me is to move down towards Suffolk. And so I'm a bit more central to the London area, to go down to Portsmouth a lot more, to go up north from there as well, because it's not too bad. York's great if I wanted to go even further up to Scotland or come down to London. It's more of like a central point because I'm from Leeds originally.
All right.
And yeah, it's great to have you on the team. Now, Wannabe Cowboy. So you mentioned that you started back in April. What actually made you say, okay, so I'm a fan of country music here in the UK. I'm a fan of country music in general. I'm a fan of music in the world. What made you say, I want to take it that next step further and I want to be involved in the scene?
I think it was kind of a viewing from like seeing peers do it. So I've always, like, when you're on social media and stuff like that, when you're a kid, it was always a case of, I want to be, I want to work with social media. I want to do, for example, YouTube like this. You know, everyone has that dream, but you know, reality sets in. You get into an adult life, you work, and you forget about it. But
Yeah.
with the rise of country music, and like I know you see there's a lot more people who are starting social media in this day and age. And I thought, well, on my TikTok, I never see anyone really talking about country music.
Yeah.
You see artists posting their music videos and the occasional person, but there's not many accounts that are focused on it. So I thought, hey, why not? Let's roll with it. And then suddenly when I started it, I realized, oh, there's loads more people also doing it. But it's about being different for me. I don't want to be the same old, you know, or talk about this, that, and the other. Like
Hmm.
the people that, you know, go over check the social on TikTok, it's a complete different thing for me. I sometimes there's interviews, sometimes there's videos of me, and then sometimes I just like to create like little stupid memes. Like my latest video is a green screen of John Travolta in a shed, like looking around, and it's being
Looking for the buckle and boots camping gear.
exactly like stuff like that. And then you know,
Nice.
just funny little stuff, and that's doing really well. And I posted another one yesterday of literally just um, driving through the country, and that's doing really well. That kind of thing, it's getting out there. Um, but the best one I've done, I think it's my best performing video, is literally a clip from the Grand Tour. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw it. It's
Richard
literally
Hammond, isn't
yeah,
it?
Richard Hammond's like, I don't want to speak to you anymore. It's like when someone tells you they don't like country music as a joke, and that just popped off, and I was like, whoa! Like it
Yeah.
went from 100 views to 2,000 in about an hour, and I was like, what is going on? And
Yeah.
that self-esteem boost, like you know what, I'm enjoying doing this, not just because of the um, intangible reward, but you know, people enjoying the content. Why don't I just keep doing it?
Yeah. I mean, it's great. And, I've always been an advocate for different podcasters, different shows, different, radio shows or anything like that. One of the things that I started the Country Chat with Dom was because you do it for the artists. You do it to give somebody an extra platform. If it means a person listening to this thinks, oh, that artist actually sounds really good, I'll give them a follow. That's one extra follower for an artist. And that's all we want. That
Yeah,
one
no,
follow that leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. And, end of the day, we're having fun
I did that
chatting.
with Alan. Got loads of my friends like check him out, check him out, check him out, that kind of thing. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I completely agree with you. Like my platform, I just as much as I want to grow personally myself, I want to give anyone and everyone the opportunity to boost themselves, get themselves out there, because you never know who's going to see that video.
Yeah.
Like, for example, there's people who may see the video I'm going to put out that you've created for me when we announce for, as you've mentioned, Buckle and Boots. That make who's this guy, and they might
Yeah.
you know, start enjoying your stuff. They'll press that follow button, and it helps you. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing I like about this
That's
country.
it.
The country family, we stick together. Like I found in the social media, there's no one that's like, nah, you do it yourself. Someone's like, I'll help you. You know, message me if you need advice or anything. So that was definitely a big eye opener into like, wow, these
Yeah.
people are really nice.
I mean, it's fascinating because obviously you're at the beginning stages of the show, you're getting things ready, you're getting things done. And how did you find when you started doing things like interviewing the amount of stuff you require? I mean, for me, I thought it was crazy. For a podcaster, we've got different. We've got to have a distributor, so I use Podbean to distribute it to all the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that lot. And there's all editing equipment. So I think you mentioned you use CapCut. And then you've got all the different other things like microphones, you've got Zoom, you've got different hard equipment that you need to actually be able to record it. And a lot of people don't realize how much money actually goes into it, not just on the artist side, with all the creating the music, doing the editing, mixing, mastering, producing, social media, and then distribution for them as well, whether it's using TuneCore or CD Baby or DistroKid or anything like that. There's a big hole aspect there with money, but there is on our side as well, the presenting side. And how did you find actually getting into that and seeing the amount of stuff you can use?
It was pretty ridiculous. Excuse me, my thingy's just fallen off my desk. Um, yeah, it was a bit of overwhelming at the start. Like I was thinking, how am I going to do this with no equipment? But like I literally went on to Amazon. I got a small tripod, you can see it,
Yeah,
and bought these off TikTok Shop, like little tiny microphones.
yeah,
probably spent about, a tenner because I'm just thinking, as long as I've got the equipment, if it's not the best quality, it doesn't matter because it can only get better. But I definitely with CapCut when I first saw it and started putting the videos together, I'm like, right, what am I doing? Like, how do I use this? But
Yeah.
now, like now when I use it, I just go bang, bang, do this, do that, do that. Like the videos I make, they're not high tech, they're not ridiculously. I'll say they're not well edited because they're not because it's just a few things put together. But it's still when I started, it was very overwhelming because I'm like, right, how do I get this to the right point? How do I get it to match? How do I get this to this and that kind of thing? But when it got to the interviews, that's when it got difficult. Like
Yeah.
the interview with Paul, because it was on Zoom, I had to take it from Zoom, send it to my phone over email, download it on my phone, cut it into sections so my phone could save it.
Yeah.
Uh, it was also the editing side of it because for those that might see this, not sure how you will, me and Dom are side by side.
Yeah.
TikTok, not very accepting of a square video, exactly. So I had to edit it on top, put it on the bottom, make sure all the audio lines up, that kind of thing. It's
Hmm.
two separate video clips. Like it was overwhelming, but I loved it. Like, you know, iPhones, Android, doesn't matter what you use. The ability we have to do with these things, think about it 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It's
Nowadays,
crazy.
nowadays it's all in that. But
Well,
yeah,
that's it. I mean, you mentioned a second ago about doing the video for the announcement for Buckle and Boots for us guys. I know this might go out either before you do yours or after, depends how quickly I edit it and get it out there. I want to get it out.
I'll be honest, it'll come out after mine. I'm literally, I'll inside out. I'm taking your video. I'll go after this. I'll go record my section.
Yeah,
If we can get Mr. Finland to send a quick video message. If not,
yeah,
he'll make an appearance at some point. But yeah, it'll be out tonight.
brilliant. Well, yeah, well, Kevin, this will be after, and so that means I can actually talk about this a bit more. Then that's always the worry, how much do I want to say in terms of what we're actually going to be discussing? But as we just said there, we're going to be doing a partnership at Buckle and Boots. There's going to be myself and Reegan here. We're going to be walking around doing interviews with artists. We're going to be doing some. You're going to be doing some filming as well with festival goers, and you're going to be asking questions and stuff like that. So if you are at Buckle and Boots, you see us walking around, come and say hi. Come and join in on the phone because
Don't
we
bite.
like to get your ideas. We like to get your impressions. We like to ask funny questions, and it's about having fun. And if you're an artist watching this, just give us a shout because we'll be taking interviews throughout the day anyhow. So yeah, it's about having fun.
Want to get yourself out there, no matter what the platform, who it's to, just give us a tap on the shoulder. That's just,
Exactly. I mean, I'll probably end up either wearing this or another type of hoodie or this kind of cap or a black cap. I'm sure you'll be wearing your
you wear a cowboy hat or this hat, shirt, that kind of thing. I think I'm going to try and make my own little card. So, like, literally, it'll probably just be a bit of a cereal box, super glued with a logo on the back just to hold. But, yeah, it's one of those things, we don't bite. And again, if people don't want to be on it, if they say, no, I'm okay, thanks, we're
yeah.
not going to force anyone to do anything they don't want to.
Exactly. It's about mutual understanding.
Yeah.
And it's like we say, it's about having fun, and we're there to enjoy the music as well. We're going to be doing a lot of photography, a lot of filming throughout. So as I say, if you want to get involved, get involved. But yes, I'm so excited to go camping. Love a bit of camping at a festival. I remember my first camping experience back in the BCMAs.
Right, but that's one.
This is your first one. What now? As a first time camper and getting things ready, what what idea have you got in your head as to what you're going to do, in terms of the camping equipment, in
Yeah,
terms of
I've been
things
yeah,
you
I've been
need?
yeah, been camp like been camping with family and stuff like that, friends. But with festivals, my brain is a bit all over the place at the moment because
Yeah,
I'm like, right. I know I need a place to sleep. I know I need somewhere to sleep in, but like, what am I doing for food? What am I doing for clothes? That kind of aspect. I just don't want to go there and then turn up with bags under my arms, being like, "Hi," and then seeing someone next to me with a carrier bag, going, "This is all I've brought." Like,
it's better to be over prepared than under prepared,
yeah,
though.
exactly.
So,
But luckily, I'm going alongside. Obviously, I'll be traveling up with Mr. Finland. We're really good friends. So he's basically told me, "This is what you need. Bring this." So
yeah,
um, yeah, I think
but
it'll be all
I
okay.
mean, it's great being part of the Alan Finland family because he's done buckling boots before. He's got the experience for White Bottom Farm as well. is obviously in with like Gary Quinn and everybody else involved with the Book and Boots team. So you've got like a not an inside scoop on the actual
I've
festival,
got a
but
foundation.
you've got a foundation to go from. Now, for those who don't have a foundation, is there anything you'd recommend from what you've been told so far?
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Definitely check on the websites for the FAOs, FAQs, or whatever they are, because I looked on there myself, and it's telling you what to do, do's and don'ts, what to bring. I've got a screenshot on my phone because I'm there like, right, I'm going to bring like if I was going on my own for a first time with friends we'd never been to one before, that is everything you would need. You know,
Yeah,
tent, sleeping bag, clothes, wellies, stuff like camping stove. But I mean, biggest one is voice of mouth, word of mouth, word of mouth.
yeah,
Because you can ask anyone that's been to a festival, be like, what should I bring? What shouldn't I bring? Because they'll all say similar stuff, but not the same. Some people will take more, some people will take less, but relatively they'll give you the best advice.
yeah, totally. I mean, today myself, I didn't. I was waiting for the confirmation for press for Buckle and Boots, and that all came. I think everybody got theirs like yesterday. At the time of recording this, we are on Wednesday, the 14th, just so everybody knows the kind of like timeline where we're actually talking from. And yeah, I went to go outdoors today because I realized I actually don't have a tent. Because I used to use my ex-girlfriends all the time, and we used to go to the festivals together. She used to do a lot of the filming for me whilst I was doing the interviews. And it just kind of like dawned on me last night, just before I was going to bed. I was like, I don't actually have half the stuff that I actually need. So like I went to go outdoors and I bought a tent, and I was stood upstairs in the tent. I took a few videos of me like choosing tents, and you'll be able to see this on my socials very soon. But it's like, do I go for a big one? Do I go for a small one? Do I go for a teepee? Do I go for a just a little tiny hitchhiker's kind of like Guide to the Galaxy tent, or is it so what do I do? I ended up going for a slightly biggish tent actually, because I do like to stand up when I'm getting changed, and I do like to have a bit of space to kind of like starfish out. So I got myself a double airbed thing as well to pump up. I didn't buy a sleeping bag because what can I take? I can take a quilt. I'm taking my car there, so I'll take a quilt with me.
Yeah, we're taking a hire car.
Yeah.
Should be all good for the
Is,
storage.
please tell me you've got like a GoPro or something that you can put on the dashboard and just film the whole thing like full on country convoy style.
I can see if Alan's got one because so basically I was going to record some stuff on my phone while driving.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the phone while driving, just to say now. Uh, I'll get Alan to do it because obviously the car will have Apple CarPlay. But just
Yeah.
get a few clips of when we're driving, I can mash it all together. We were joking. We went for breakfast on Sunday. Sorry, and we were joking, like making content and stuff, thinking about what our ideas are. And he's like, "Are we going to end up doing one of those fully like?" He went probably like, "Come with me to Buckle and Boots." I was like, "Absolutely, we are."
It's the best way to do it.
Like, yeah, I said that to him, and he was like, "Right, okay, yeah, we'll do it, I guess." No, that goes back to obviously your other question. Like, I didn't realize how obviously I haven't got one. I want to get one, but GoPros are so expensive.
They are. I mean, I just recently, I don't know if people have seen my stories on Instagram, but I've just recently invested in this. Now, for those who don't know what this is,
I
I
don't know
got this and I got
what
this.
it is.
This is the microphone set from DJI. It's a wireless 2 mic. So it's two microphones there. And then in here this is like a fresh unboxing.
Oh, I love an unboxing.
Is an Action 4, basically like a GoPro, but a slightly cheaper version. But the
I see one like
quality,
TikTok shop, and I'm a bit like, should I buy one?
well, that's it. I mean, I was in two minds about what I was going to do because the three main ones were GoPro, this DJI, or the Instagram 360.
Yeah. See,
Um,
these are my microphones, just tiny little. You don't know if you can see, tiny little ones.
yeah, that's what I originally started with when
Yeah,
I
so I bought these off TikTok shop for it was like £3.27 or something.
yeah, I think I got mine off like Amazon when the first. Oh, I think no, yeah, that might be them there actually. Bear with me 2 seconds.
I go grab them.
So please tell me it is the same as
They
like,
actually might be. Yes, they are. Hang
trying
on.
to get them unblocked. Look at that. That's what I first started with when I
Yeah.
started doing on the road
I bought them off TikTok shop for like £3.27, and like I recorded. Yeah,
with a little
that is them.
plug-in and
Yeah,
then a little
that is them.
microphone there.
The only thing I'm conscious about, I'll be honest, about the festival is my phone battery.
Yep.
So I think I might have to try and find like a big power bank.
You see, I've got a couple that I always take with me everywhere. They're anchor ones, and I've got an Energizer one, which is basically a power bank, and I take it fishing with me because I do a lot of fishing. And I do a lot of content whilst I'm fishing. I'm going to be releasing a new social media platform, just a shout out there, of my fishing adventures.
I like fishing.
And yeah, I use that to power up my phone, my Apple Watch, and then my mics and cameras as
Yeah,
well.
see, I have an Apple Watch, but I'm not going to take it to the festival.
Really, in case you lose it or get damaged.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
You see, I've had this one for years, but
Yeah, I've got
yeah,
like it's a Series 4. Don't get me wrong, but again, it's just the charging it because like if my power bank runs out of battery charging my thing and my phone's there, I'm like, well, what do I do
yeah,
now?
I've got no phone. I've got a watch though.
I think because obviously you can tell me. Here's a question for you because I don't know this, and obviously people, if this is coming out before Buckle, might not know this. Would you advise taking all cash or cash and card to the festival?
I think that's the same with everything in life, particularly any festival. I'd take a picture of both because if their card machines break down and you can't buy a drink, or if you've used all your cash up, you've got your card. Taking cash is always, I'd always take about, I think I usually take about 50% of what I want to spend in cash. And then the other 50% I use on my card. So I've got an idea of where I'm at. So if I know I've used all my cash up, I've got to a point where, okay, so I've used about 50% of what I was going to take or what I was going to spend. I either slow down a bit on my spending or I go, you know what, let's go hell for leather, get the credit card out and then just splash out and buy all the merchandise.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not going to go wild. I know that. Like I've budgeted myself, so I think I spoke to Alan about it. He was like, how much would you take for like a healthy weekend? He was like, probably like 200 quid. I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to take.
Yeah. I normally take about 100, between 150, 200 quid. I mean, it's like going to country on the coast. I know I'm going to be talking about a different festival here. Country on the coast, the hoodies were absolutely incredible, but these were like 60 quid. T-shirts were 30 odd quid, and they're incredible quality. But if you don't factor in buying things like merchandise, when you do get there and you think, actually, I do want that, you need to be able to cover yourself.
Yeah, I'm a hat man. I don't really buy clothing, mainly because I'm a bigger bloke. Like,
Yeah,
um,
no, you're tiny.
you wait. How tall are you, Dom? Just for the
6 foot.
viewers.
I'm
Oh,
6 foot.
so I'm probably a bit taller than you. Then I'm like 6'2".
Oh, really? See, we've actually never met in person. This is kind of like first
Yeah,
time we've speaking face
you'll have
face to face.
you and me and then Alan.
Alan is a big bloke, and
But no,
he's a
like,
lovable giant. There's
yeah, definitely, absolutely. But no, I just like when I went to we went to country. I got the one of the hats, and I was like, because hats I wear a lot more. So,
yeah,
but
I do love a good hat. I mean, I've been currently wearing. I know this is a Jack Daniels one. My terrain hat. I use about a lot of things from Terrain Clothing. Those who don't know, Terrain Clothing is a. This isn't an advert, by the way. Um, they do a lot of clothing from recycled materials, so it's a lot of renewable materials. They've got Sherpa lined hoods, they've got Sherpa lined pockets, and it is amazing, particularly for winter where it's a bit colder and you want to keep a bit warm. But it's great during the summer as well because it's not really dense.
I've never even heard of them. I'll
It's
have to have a
still
look.
definitely worth a check out. They do a lot of fishing gear, a lot of outdoor weather gear, but they're also doing personalized stuff as well. And I've gotten a couple of the hoodies done for myself, ready for buckle and boots.
Very nice.
So looking forward to wearing them. But yeah, I've got a terrain hat with a terrain logo in the top. It's the black one that I usually wear on my videos. And I was going to take my cowboy hat, my Stetson, but that is down in Suffolk. I took it to Sarah's and I forgot to bring it back with me because I didn't know I was going to Buckle and Boots and I didn't plan for that. So it was like, okay, I'll leave it down here because I know I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff down in London in the coming few weeks. I'm going to Kent to do a few of the other festivals. I know you're doing some of them with me, which we'll talk about in the future. Make sure you keep following us on socials. But yeah, I left it all down south. It's like, great, what am I going to do now? So I'm having to like kind of like plan for other things instead.
No, yeah, it's always the case, isn't it? Like I'll take my cowboy hat and probably both of my Ariats, maybe depending which ones. But that's yeah, not an ad, but I mainly just wear Ariat hats because they're really fitting on the head because of the back.
Yeah.
But they're just really comfortable. So
I mean, I've got to say, Ariat hats are very smart as well. I mean, particularly when they're clean like that, they
yeah,
look so smart.
can't go wrong with them.
I mean, and it helps having Alan Finland, who is, endorsed by Ariat as well.
Really
So
greased up, but but I don't.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, like we was watching your interview with Alan as well, and the way that you go into these different people he's endorsed by is just incredible, and it's great to see artists getting recognized for stuff like that as well. And it's one of the fun things. Now, if you was to be endorsed by any brand out there in the world, what would it be?
Any brand.
Anything, whether it's food, clothing, um, musical stuff, own
Sounds
hobbies.
really boring, but PlayStation.
Yeah,
Yeah, PlayStation. Like if it's away from country, it's PlayStation or Lego all day long because I'm just a giant nerd at heart.
that's
Love my country music, but gaming and building Lego is like my reality away from reality. Let's be honest.
see, this kind of like ties in nicely with the direction I wanted to go because we're talking about hats, and I got myself a little Ash Ketchum hat here with an EV top. Now, do you want to let everybody know, or shall I let everybody know what we was discussing about earlier?
Oh, what me and my absolute like obsession, well, not obsession, but collection of, I don't know if you can see it that well, but Pokemon cards.
I would not say it's an obsession. I'd say it's dedication,
It's dedication and investment, we'll call it.
investment. That's it.
It's like to not bore everyone, there's a card from the new set, which is, as you may know, Dom, it's an Umbreon card. Currently goes for 1.8k raw, no
That's
grade.
beautiful.
Like
See,
pulling that would pay for a new camera, new microphone if I pulled that.
yeah,
But yeah, it's crazy.
it's fascinating though, isn't it? Just speaking to different people. I mean, like you'll know with Alan and his not obsessions. I'm going to use the word obsessions. It's not an obsession, but his fan side of Lego and Star Wars and life in general. Everybody's got so many different things, and I'm a massive fan of Pokemon. I play VGC. I play VGC quite a lot. You've got your cards there as well to do with Pokemon. What's the craziest thing that you've heard somebody say then? On your travels, talking to random people, or in life in general, what their obsessions have been.
What as in what they've made a comment about stuff I like or like
Yeah, whether it's something that you like or something that they like. What's
I'm a
the
huge
craziest
Star
thing?
Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Um, and I actually have, you can't see it because it's blurred, but I've got the Captain Rex clone trooper helmet you can put on your head.
Yeah.
I was in the shop and I picked it up, and some 60-year-old bloke looked at me with it in my hand and went, "Are you really buying that? You need to grow up." I'm like, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd have a choice for your words for people like
yeah,
that.
I kept my composure. I went, well, people like different things, mate, so I'm buying this.
Yeah, this is mine.
It's a bit of
Go.
a weird comment, but it was probably one he thought he meant to say in his head, but he blurted it out because he gave me a bit of a sheepish look after I confronted him, like, "Oh,
Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's sad when people, judge somebody based on something that they enjoy. I mean, it's we look back at country music and we
I
look
was
back,
about to say I got judged for liking country music, so
yeah, five,
people,
10 years ago, everybody kind of like laughed at me for enjoying country music. I've been part of the scene since 2016. That's when I first started diving into UK country music, and then I started my podcast in 2019. And obviously, with COVID and life in general, it's grown. But before that, everybody kind of like hounded me for it. What was it like for you?
it was just one of those things I didn't really speak about. Like I said this in the interview of Paul, which people can obviously check out. That like it was very much scolded upon. I enjoyed it in my own time. I didn't really tell people going, "Oh yeah, I like country music," because when you say to someone, they're like, "Why do you like that? It's rubbish," and you're like, you get judged to it. And you kind of go back in your shell.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was weird. Like now it's huge, and I'm seeing people that hated me for liking country music put on their Instagram stories going, "This song's great," and it's like Zach Bryan, like something in the orange, and I'm like, you hated me for listening to this sort of music ages ago. Now you're in it, but
yeah, exactly.
it's the circle of life. It's how it goes. People, like I said, they jump on stuff when it's trendy, and when it'll die off, they'll go back to stuff they listened to before and never touch it again.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I used to do it all the time with people when we used to put normal radio on at work, we'd have Lady Ed come on and I'd say, "Do you like this song?" They're like, "Yeah, this is a decent song. I've always liked this song." So, well, it's country. It's like, "Oh, is it?" Like, yeah. Taylor
Yeah,
Swift, come on. "Oh, you like this song?" "Yeah. Original stuff's country." Silly little things like that. They're like, "Oh, I didn't think of it like that." And next thing you know, they're coming up to me at the side saying, "Yeah, I actually do like Zach Bryan. Oh, I do like Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen, Post Malone, absolutely fantastic." Just like, yeah, I know. I've been saying this for years.
It's how it rolls. It's really annoying, but it's the way the world's going at the moment.
I remember when I first started doing my interviews on the podcast, I was working for a different company. I was in Grimsby at the time, and I put it on. I was obviously researching this artist because it was like the first time I've heard her. Her name was Louise Parker, and I put a YouTube on the speakers. I was playing out at work. It was only me and a couple of the directors at the time. And I used to come in and said, "This person's really, really good. I've never heard of this before." I was like, "Yeah, this is artist I'm going to be interviewing in a couple of weeks' time." Really? She's an artist. She's a UK artist. Yeah, she's a country artist. She's a what? Yeah, she's a UK country artist. I didn't know we had UK country here, but
Yeah, it's blown up recently. Like, I was talking when I was talking to Alan about it. He was saying, like you said, in COVID, when he started, he was one of the very few artists that were actually doing it. And then we came out of lockdown, and there's 1,000 more. Like, it just blew up. So,
yeah.
but the thing about UK country is, I don't think our artists get the recognition they deserve. Like, of course,
Hmm.
we have our CMA, so a big shout out to them. But when it comes to like the bigger stuff, like C2C this year, Kezia Gill only really just got noticed like on the bigger stage, and
Hmm.
I think she's a phenomenal artist. Her voice is absolutely incredible, and Alan's told me all about her rise, but it's nice seeing our artists from our country slowly getting the recognition. But in my opinion, it's just not happening quick enough.
No, exactly. I mean, I had this conversation with Charlotte Young, and I've had it with Tennessee Twin as well, talking about the UK CMAs. You know, we have got so many great people here that do develop the scene, the BCMAs, the UK CMAs, UKCountryRadio.com. We've got the UK Country Music Awards as well. That happens every year. And there's so many different things. But when it comes to things like C2C, seeing Kezia Gill on the spotlight stage, for the main stage there was absolutely incredible. But all the rest of the UK artists, the majority of them were just sidelined to the outside stages, or
Yeah,
to the
like
ones that were.
like Jake O'Neill, he was sidelined to a few stages. I think he deserved to be on that spotlight stage personally. Um, but it just the way it is, they want to get the big artists out there, that kind of thing. It gets the crowd in. Like, unfortunately, we can't. If we can make a lineup of all the artists we wanted, I can guarantee 90% of it would be British.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think Buckle and Boots is really good for. They promote the UK artists. Their whole pretty much roster is what, let's say like 80%, would you say, UK?
Yeah.
And it really gets them out there for people to know. So, Buckle and Boots, huge shout out for your support for all the UK artists out there.
And the support they've got for grassroots artists as well. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. I'm really excited to be going to Buckle and Boots this year. I'm looking forward to doing some interviews with yourself, and it's going to be a great time. So if you haven't got your tickets yet to Buckle and Boots and you're watching this before the festival, get your tickets. Get yourself there, have a wonderful weekend of great live music, and actually see what the UK has to offer as
Starts a
well.
week tomorrow.
Crazy, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
flying. It's flying by.
We were there talking at the weekend, trying to plan, like, right, what time does site open on Thursday? We need to get in there, set up, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Because obviously, for me, I'm a forward planner. I like to make stuff sure of in place. Like, for those that are watching, I guess we can talk about it. The in June that me and Don will both be at American Speedfest at Brands Hatch.
yeah,
So you'll see us there. Like, I've already booked the hotel, and Alan was like, "You know me, I don't do forward planning. I would have left it till a day." I'm like, "No, I'm doing it, solid." So that's already
yeah.
booked. But it's just who I am. I'm a forward planner. I'm there talking about what time we're leaving, how we get in there, what's getting packed in the car, that kind of thing. So it's just
Yeah.
who I am. I like to be prepared.
It's best way to be, and I'm super excited to be doing all these festivals and these gigs with you as well. So looking forward to working with you as part of Live in the Living Room. As we say, looking forward to seeing you at Buckle and Boots. We look forward to seeing everybody else there as well. And if you do want to be part of the show, just give us a tap on the shoulder, as we say. Now, finally, Reegan, where can we find you on social media?
So TikTok and Instagram are my main ones. Literally, Wannabe Cowboy, Cowboy with a zero in the boy, because unfortunately the one with an actual O was taken.
Yeah.
But TikTok is my main source. Instagram, I'm slowly trying to build it up, trying to use it a little bit more. But yeah, look out for, as we say, next weekend. You'll see a lot more on both, I reckon.
Looking forward to it, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Reegan, for joining me. It's been an absolute honor chatting with you here on the show, and I look forward to the collaboration that we've got in the future.
It'll be good, Dom.